Do you believe in fairness? Do you think the world operates on justice? That if you play by the rules, work hard enough, stay honest, you will be rewarded? Let me destroy that illusion right now. Fairness is a drug, a beautiful, seductive lie told to those who have nothing, so they stay obedient, so they keep waiting, so they never rise. The truth? The world has never been fair, and it never will be, because fairness is not a natural law. It is a cage built by the powerful to control the powerless, a story told to children so they behave while the adults divide the world among themselves. And if you are still waiting for fairness, you have already lost. Niccolò Machiavelli understood this 500 years ago. He was not a king, he was a diplomat, a writer, an observer of human nature, and he watched princes fall. He saw republics crumble. He witnessed empires collapse, and through it all, he discovered one brutal truth. Those who seek fairness are destined to lose. Those who create the rules are destined to rule. He wrote in The Prince, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see, but very few can feel." Translation: people worship what they see, not what is true. They follow who appears powerful, not who is fair. Friedrich Nietzsche went further. He said fairness was invented by the weak to shackle the strong, to make strength look cruel, to make dominance look evil. And Marcus Aurelius knew that complaining about fairness was the language of the defeated. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Let me be clear. I'm not telling you to become a tyrant. I'm not asking you to hurt innocent people. I'm not endorsing cruelty for cruelty's sake. What I am telling you is this: stop waiting for the world to be fair. Stop crying about injustice while doing nothing to change your position. Stop blaming the system while refusing to understand how it actually works. I am showing you how power actually operates. Not how it should work, not how your teachers told you, but how it does work in reality. Because once you see the game clearly, you can choose. You can keep begging for fairness, or you can start writing your own rules. Let's begin. Truth number 1, the fairness myth. Why justice is a weapon against you. Think about someone you know who constantly complains about fairness. Someone who says, "It's not fair that they got promoted. It's not fair that they have money. It's not fair that I work harder and get less." Now ask yourself, has complaining about fairness ever changed their life? No, because fairness is not a law of nature. It is a psychological trap. Here is the reversal. Fairness is a system created to keep you passive. It teaches you to wait for justice instead of creating your own destiny. It trains you to believe that someone, somewhere, will eventually notice your goodness and reward you. But no one is coming. No cosmic judge will balance the scales. No authority figure will save you. Let me give you an example. 2 employees work at the same company. David works 12 hours a day. He arrives early, leaves late. He never complains. He follows every rule. He helps everyone. He produces excellent work. He is loyal. He is dedicated. Michael works 8 hours a day. He networks with executives during lunch. He takes credit for team wins in meetings. He plays the political game. He understands that visibility matters more than productivity. Who gets promoted? Michael, every single time. Why? Because the game was never about fairness. It was about perception, strategy, positioning, power. David believed in fairness. He thought his work would speak for itself. He was wrong. Michael understood reality. He knew that those who control the narrative control the outcome. Machiavelli said, "The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present." Translation: rules exist to control you, but those in power break them whenever necessary. Think about the legal system. The rich hire teams of lawyers and escape consequences. The poor get public defenders and go to prison. Same crime, different outcome. Why? Because power creates exception. Think about education. The wealthy buy their children into elite universities through donations. The poor take on massive debt for state schools. Same diploma, different doors opened. Why? Because money writes the rule. Think about corporations. CEOs make 300 times what workers make. They can fail spectacularly and still receive golden parachutes worth millions. Workers get laid off without warning. Why? Because those at the top designed the system to benefit themselves. This is not cynicism. This is observation. Here is your first affirmation. I stop seeking fairness. I start creating outcomes. Truth number 2. The predator's rule. Nature rewards strength, not virtue. Look at nature. Does the lion ask permission to hunt? Does the eagle apologize for being faster than the sparrow? Does the wolf wait for fairness before eating? No. Nature operates on one principle. Strength creates reality. Now think about human society. We pretend to be civilized. We pretend to be fair. But underneath the surface, we are still animals. And the same rules apply. Here is the reversal. Virtue without power is invisible. Goodness without strength is forgotten. Morality without leverage is meaningless. Let me tell you a story. Richard spent 35 years being honest, loyal, and kind. He mentored younger employees. He worked overtime without complaint. He never asked for more than he was given. He believed his work ethic and moral character would be enough. When the company downsized, Richard was the first one fired. Why? Because he had no leverage, no alliances, no strategic value. Meanwhile, Marcus, who was less skilled but had spent years building relationships with executives, kept his job. He even got a raise. Was it fair? No. Was it reality? Yes. Nietzsche said, "The weak and the botched shall perish." First principle of our charity. Harsh? Maybe. True? Absolutely. Nature does not reward the kindest. It rewards the most adaptive, the most strategic, the most powerful. Here is your affirmation. I embrace strategic strength. I stop apologizing for winning. Truth number 3. The balance of strength-power is the only real currency. You have been taught that the world runs on fairness, justice, and equality. But look around. Who actually controls the world? Those with money, those with influence, those with networks, those with power. Power is the only currency that matters. Everything else is decoration. Here is the reversal. Fairness is the language of the powerless. Those who have power do not ask for fairness. They create the conditions they want. Think about it. When a billionaire wants something, do they wait for permission? No. They buy politicians. They change laws. They shape reality. When a celebrity gets in trouble, do they face the same consequences as you? No. They hire crisis managers. They control the narrative. They rewrite the story. When a corporation breaks the rules, do they get punished? Rarely. They pay a fine that is less than their profit. Then they do it again. This is not cynicism. This is observation. Machiavelli wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." Why? Because fear is respect enforced. Love is optional. Fear is strategic. Let me be clear. I am not telling you to make people fear you through cruelty. I am telling you to build a presence so strong that people respect your boundaries automatically. When you have power, people listen. When you have leverage, people negotiate. When you have strength, people pay attention. Here is your affirmation. I build power, not excuses. I create leverage, not complaints. Truth number 4. The illusion of merit. Why hard work is not enough. You were told, work hard and you will succeed. Be good and you will be rewarded. Do the right thing and justice will follow. But look at your life. How many people do you know who worked hard and stayed poor? How many good people got betrayed? How many honest people got exploited? Here is the reversal. Merit is a myth. Hard work without strategy is slavery. Goodness without positioning is invisibility. Let me give you an example. 2 people apply for the same job. Jennifer has perfect qualifications, top of her class, 5 years of relevant experience, glowing references. She is objectively the better candidate. Amanda has decent qualifications, but nothing exceptional. However, Amanda's former colleague now works at the company. That colleague vouched for Amanda, walked her resume directly to the hiring manager's desk. Who gets hired? Amanda. Every time. Why? Because the system does not reward merit. It rewards relationships. It rewards perception. It rewards power. You can be the smartest person in the room, but if no one knows your name, you are invisible. You can be the hardest worker, but if no one sees your value, you are replaceable. You can be the most talented, but if no one advocates for you, you are forgotten. Machiavelli said, "Men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities that one who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived." Translation: people believe what they see, not what is true, so control what they see. This is not about lying. This is about positioning, marketing yourself, making your value visible. Here is your affirmation: I stop hiding my value. I make my power visible. Truth number 5. The economics of power resources flow to the strategic, not the deserving. Money does not go to those who need it most. Opportunities do not go to those who deserve them most. Power does not go to those who are fairest. Resources flow to those who position themselves to receive them. Here is the reversal. The world does not care about your needs. It only responds to your leverage. Think about this. A company has 2 candidates for promotion. One is humble, hardworking, and loyal. The other is confident, visible, and demanding. Who gets promoted? The second one, not because they deserve it more, but because they position themselves as more valuable. This is the economics of power. Value is not inherent. Value is perceived. Let me tell you another story. 2 entrepreneurs. Alex built a better product. He obsessed over quality. He believed quality would speak for itself. Brian built a decent product, then spent 2 years building a compelling story. He created a brand. He networked with investors. He generated media coverage. He understood that perception drives adoption. Brian raised $10 million. Alex went bankrupt. Was Brian's product better? No, but he understood the game. People do not pay for quality. They pay for perception. They pay for story. They pay for what makes them feel powerful. Machiavelli said, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." This is the key. Control your appearance. Shape your narrative. Build your legend. Here is your affirmation. I control my narrative. I build my legend strategically. Truth number 6. The saboteur's mask. Why fair people keep you weak. You have people in your life who preach fairness, who tell you to wait your turn, who say, good things come to those who wait, who warn you not to be too ambitious. Let me tell you who these people are. They are saboteurs dressed as friends. Here is the reversal. People who teach you to seek fairness want you to stay beneath them. They fear your rise. They protect their position by keeping you passive. Think about it. When you try to grow, who tells you to slow down? When you chase a big goal, who says you are being unrealistic? When you demand more, who says you are being greedy? The people who benefit from your smallness. This is not conspiracy. This is human nature. People want to feel superior, and the easiest way to feel superior is to keep others beneath you. Nietzsche called this slave morality, the belief system created by the weak to make strength look evil, to make ambition look selfish, to make power look corrupt. Do not fall for it. Let me give you an example. Sarah decided to start her own business. Her family said, "Why take the risk? Your job is stable." Her friends said, "Do not be greedy. Be grateful for what you have." She ignored them. 5 years later, she was a millionaire. And those same people, they asked her for money. This is the pattern. Those who preach fairness want you to stay where you are, so they feel comfortable. Here is your affirmation. I ignore those who preach smallness. I protect my ambition fiercely. Truth number 7. Breaking expectations. The power of rewriting rules. You were born into a system. Rules were already written. Hierarchies were already built. And you were told, follow the path. Respect the rules. Wait your turn. But here is what they did not tell you. The people at the top, they did not follow those rules. They broke them. They rewrote them. They created their own game. Here is the reversal. The strong do not follow rules. They create them. They do not seek permission. They take action. They do not wait for fairness. They engineer outcomes. Think about every major success story. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Oprah Winfrey. Did they wait for permission? Did they follow the traditional path? No. They broke expectations. They ignored critics. They created their own rule. Machiavelli said, "The innovator has for enemies all those who have done well under the old conditions." Translation: when you rise, people will hate you, not because you are wrong, but because you threaten their comfort. Let me tell you a story. A young man wanted to work at a prestigious company. He applied through the normal process. Rejected. So he studied the CEO, found out where the CEO had breakfast, showed up there, started a conversation, got hired. Was it fair to other candidates? No. Was it strategic? Absolutely. This is the lesson. Fairness is the rulebook for those who have already won. If you want to win, you must create your own path. Here is your affirmation. I create my own rules. I refuse to play small. Let me tell you about Lorenzo de' Medici. He lived in Florence during the Renaissance, born into a banking family, but not royalty, not nobility, just a merchant. The system was clear. The nobles ruled, the church controlled morality, the guilds controlled trade, and everyone else? They obeyed. But Lorenzo did not wait for fairness. He did not complain about the system. He studied it. He understood it. Then he rewrote it. He loaned money to kings. He funded artists like Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo. He controlled information through libraries. He built alliances. He made himself indispensable. Within 20 years, he ruled Florence, not as a king, not as a pope, but as the man everyone needed. Did he play fair? No. Did he create his own rules? Yes. And history remembers him as Lorenzo the Magnificent. This is the lesson. The system will never be fair, but it can be mastered. Let me summarize the 7 truths. 1. Fairness is a myth designed to keep you passive. Stop seeking justice. Start creating outcomes. 2. Nature rewards strength, not virtue. Goodness without power is invisible. Build strategic strength. 3. Power is the only real currency. Those who have it create reality. Those who do not complain about it. 4. Merit is an illusion. Hard work without positioning is slavery. Make your value visible. 5. Resources flow to the strategic, not the deserving. Control your narrative. Build your legend. 6. People who preach fairness are saboteurs. They fear your rise. Protect your ambition. 7. The strong create rules. The weak follow them. Break expectations. Engineer your own success. These are not opinions. These are observations from 500 years of human behavior. So now I ask you, what will you choose? Will you keep waiting for the world to be fair? Will you keep complaining about injustice while doing nothing? Will you keep playing by rules designed to keep you powerless? Or will you wake up? Will you study power? Will you build leverage? Will you create your own path? This is not about becoming cruel. This is about becoming strategic. This is not about hurting others. This is about protecting yourself. Because here is the final truth. The world will never reward your goodness. It will only respect your strength. So stop being good for the sake of being good. Start being powerful for the sake of being free. The choice is yours. But choose wisely, because time does not wait for the fair. It rewards the fast. If this truth opened your eyes, subscribe to this channel, because we do not teach comfort here. We teach power. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Someone who is still waiting for fairness. Someone who is ready to wake up. And drop this final affirmation in the comments. I create my own rules. I refuse to play small. Welcome to the game. Now go rewrite your life.